Welcome back to KTV. My name is Morgan.
And I'm Eric. Before we jump into our Bible story for the week, we're going to play another round of Who Am I? This week, it's villain themed. So we've each picked a famous movie villain, and we'll go back and forth asking yes or no questions until one of us correctly guesses which villain the other person is.
That's right.
Okay, so you ready to play?
I'm ready to play. Would you like to start? You can ask the first question.
All right, yes. Are you a animal?
No. Are you a boy?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have hair?
Yes.
You have hair, okay.
Are you an animal?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have magic?
No.
No magic.
No magic. Are you from a movie in the last 5 years?
No, definitely not.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Do you have teeth that are?
No.
No. Okay, this is not.
I thought you were
working out
just
for me.
gonna ask if I have teeth. Like, yes. Animal. Hold there. It's not like. Are you in Toy Story?
No, not in Toy Story.
Okay.
Do you wear? Okay, you're a villain,
Yep.
and you're not an animal,
Nope.
and you don't use magic.
Nope.
Do you wear black?
I think maybe. I don't know.
Oh no.
I'm
this is-
sorry. That one I don't know.
Okay.
Are you in The Lion King?
That's a good guess. Yes?
Yes.
No, no. Oh no.
That was
Okay.
a long shot.
Do you have a cackle? Like
No.
No?
No, that's a good question though. Are you Scar?
Yes.
Yes!
How do you get this?
I don't know, when I thought of like animal villain, like not recent movie, I thought it's either Toy Story, but I don't really know who I was thinking
There's
of.
so many movies out there. I was sure that you were not gonna
Do
win.
you know who I am?
Well, you're definitely not an animal.
No, I'm not an animal.
Yeah.
I was Hans from Frozen.
I never would have guessed that. Okay.
Scar was a little bit easier. Well, good game.
Yeah.
That was fun. But before we move on, I think we should go and worship.
All right, let's worship.
New Heights Church, we're glad you're here. Whether you're in the room or you're joining us online, we're just grateful. Do me a favor, would you stand with us? We're excited to worship. We want you to sing out with all you have, so let's do it together. We worship the God who was. We worship the God who is. We worship the God who evermore will be. He opened the prison doors. He parted the raging sea.
in week 3 of Famous. Last time, we learned Solomon was chosen to be the next king of Israel, and it was going to be a pretty big job. Today, we'll talk more about how Solomon had concerns just like everybody else, even though he was a king.
Yeah, let's tune into the Bible story to find out what Solomon did when he didn't know everything about how to do his new job well, and how God helped him get everything he needed. Pause this video and read 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 3 through 14 as a class.
Well, I know y'all probably expected me to be famous by now, for me to have millions of views on my dancing video, and for companies begging me to be their spokesperson. Well, I guess I have news for you. That's exactly what happened! So let me tell you what happened. Last week I was there finishing up Grow TV. I looked at my phone and I saw I had over 1,000 notifications. Apparently someone famous saw my video and decided to share it. And that led thousands upon millions of other people to see it. Now there's companies all over wanting me, Carl, to be the face of their organization. Isn't this incredible? I'm becoming famous. I mean, look at this. I got a fancy new vest as a gift, and these special new glasses. Oh, and I can't forget this. I tell you what, things are changing big time. But I gotta be honest, I need your help with something. Now, all famous people have agents. People that kind of just like make sure you get whatever you want, right? So I got an agent. Come on in here, Sebastian.
Hey there, Cool Carl. How you doing, man? Good to see you. You're a rock star. So tell me, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey, by the way, did I get that audition for that movie?
Sharknado 3000, The Return of the Sea Otter?
That's the one, yeah.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get you in that for sure, as long as you don't mind getting eaten by a 2,000-pound stingray.
Well, actually, I prefer it.
Perfect, that's why I love you. Get the stingray ready. All right, Carl, hit me with it. What can I do for my biggest star?
Well, I was curious, like, what kind of like stuff can I have? Is there like a budget or like a limit?
Do turtles wish they could fly?
I have no idea.
They do not, okay? No budgets, no limits. Whatever your tiny little bearded heart wants, it gets, all right? Now hit me with it.
Anything I want, huh? Huh, all right. Well, I guess I want a swimming pool with jello filled, a bathtub that's just filled with chicken nuggets, a lawnmower that can go underwater, a submarine that can drive on land, a deer that calls me Sir Winston, a talking deer.
Is that it?
How about an assistant that's only job is to slap mosquitoes off me?
Oh, I have the perfect guy. His name is Slappin' Jimmy. You'll love him. Anything else?
Nope, I think that's it.
Great, I'll make it happen, okay? All right? Give me Slappin' Jimmy. I don't care if he's in the middle of surgery. I need him.
Sebastian's crazy, but I love him. Wow, I can't believe it's really happening. I'm becoming famous, and I get to have whatever I want. Kind of reminds me of a Bible story.
You know, it sounds a lot like today's story.
Oh, hey, Andy.
Hey, Carl. Today's story is actually about another man who was asked what he wanted.
Oh, nice. I can't wait.
Me either. So today's story is in 1 Kings, and it starts with the end of David's reign as king of Israel. Unfortunately, David died after being king for 40 years in Israel. Now, if you remember from last week, there was an issue with who would be taking over as king after David was gone. But at the end of the story, it became very clear about who was going to be the next king. And the next king would be, drumroll please, Solomon! Now, a lot of people don't remember, but Solomon was very, very young when he became king. Y'all want to guess how old he was? I'll wait. Got your guess? He was 12 years old. Now, I don't know about you, but I think when I was 12, I was rolling around in the dirt as a kid, pretending I was a carrot. So I could not have been a king. At all. But Solomon was. Now, when you think about what you would do as your first day as a king or a queen, you'd probably make some new laws first, right? Like everyone has to eat dessert first before they eat dinner, or no bedtimes before midnight, or maybe that every single person who is mean has to eat broccoli for a week. But you know what Solomon did first? He made sacrifices to honor God and his father. How cool is that? I think God was very happy that Solomon was king because when he was sleeping, God spoke to him in a dream. Solomon was asked what was something that he wanted from God. Now, Solomon could have asked for anything in the whole entire world. He could have asked for all of the land, or to be the richest man in the world, or to even be the biggest and strongest king on the planet. But you know what Solomon asked for? He asked for wisdom. You see, Solomon was young. He was only 12 years old, and now he was leading thousands and thousands of people. He was gonna need some help to make the right decisions and to know what's the difference between right and wrong. and also just to be the best leader for his people. So you could probably imagine that God was super happy that Solomon asked for wisdom over everything else. So pleased that God not only gave Solomon the wisdom that he asked for, but so much more than that. God gave Solomon an overwhelming amount of wealth and riches and honor. God was making sure that there would be no greater king in his time. And God told Solomon if he listened and obeyed God, then he would have a long life just like his father did. Isn't that incredible? I mean, Solomon, a 12-year-old kid who takes over the position of his father as king, who was probably the greatest king of all time, had just had the opportunity to ask for anything in the whole entire world. And instead of asking for money or land or castles or whatever, he asked for wisdom. Then God rewards him in a massive way. And there's another pretty cool thing, that there's another storyteller in the Bible named James, and he tells us that if we pray for wisdom, God promises us that we will receive it. How cool is that? I mean, we can have wisdom from God just like Solomon did, but we have to ask for it. And so when I look at this story, all I can think about is how when we need help, we can ask God for guidance.
All right, you big stars. Our big idea today is when we need help, we can ask God for guidance. All right, now let's say it out loud on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. When we need help, we can ask God for guidance. Great job, everyone. Isn't that just the best news ever? Speaking of needing help, Carl, how you doing?
I'm a changed man. Nothing but caviar dreams and chicken nugget living from now on. I can't wait to see where this fame's gonna take me. Get excited, kids, because it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Pro TV.
It's pretty crazy that a 12-year-old brand new king could have asked God for anything in the whole world, but he chose to ask for wisdom.
Crazy.
I don't know that I would make that choice. Solomon was uncertain about how to do his job as king, but he trusted that God could help him, so he asked for wisdom. And guess what? God gave it to him.
Sometimes life can be really hard. We face challenges that are scary or sad, and we feel uncertain just like Solomon did. Whether it's a bully at school, changes in our family, maybe moving, trying to make friends, or anything else, we can ask God for guidance.
We can believe God will help us in any situation because God is famous for things like parting the Red Sea, right? And closing the mouths of hungry lions. That's crazy. Jesus did amazing miracles like that while on earth too, and showed love by helping people.
Jesus was the kind of leader who did not only say wise things, but did them. Jesus was able to do that because Jesus talked to God all the time. So Jesus knew what God wanted.
Whenever we come across any situation that we feel is too difficult for us, we can be like Jesus, who stayed in constant communication with God. When we need help, we can ask for God's guidance, and we can do that through prayer.
It's important to know who is the best source for help. Think about Adonijah, who we learned about last week. Sure, his friends cheered him on, but they didn't help him do the right thing. So when we need help, we can ask God for his guidance first. That way, we don't listen to just any old advice from anyone to help us out with our problems. We listen to the people who want to help us do things the way that God wants us to.
We can pray and ask God for guidance, and we can ask him for wise people in our lives too. Take some time to talk about our story and what it means for you to ask for God's guidance when you need help.
Do you know what time it is?
Yeah,
Consequence
I think
time.
I do.
All right. Let's see what we've got today.
Ooh, my favorite wheel.
Number 11. Is that an 11? Haha. This one's good. And you're going to need your swim trunks because you are getting blobbed.
Blob?
Blobbed.
Like on the blob, like boing,
Yeah,
and then
on
in the water?
blob. Were you ready to do that today?
No!
I'm excited
I'm
for
not.
this one. Let's go check it out.
All right, guys, that's all we have for you for this week's KTV. Join us next week for week 4 of our next episode.
See ya.